Hey everybody, welcome back to Horror Trans. My name is Stephanie Bree. I am a transgender woman who talks about all things horror. And today it is time for the Horror Trans podcast. I got some pretty good topics this time. And I didn't watch as many movies last week as I would have liked. Got a little busy, but I did watch a few movies. I watched The Fantastic Four from 2005. It was basically a rewatch, as was Jaws, which I watched on Sunday. I also rewatched My Science Project for the first time in forever. Did not remember that movie at all. Still not sure how I feel about it. You know, there was a twinge of nostalgia, but there was also a whole lot of shaking my head and rolling my eyes. So, I don't know. Some 80s sci-fi movies just don't hold up. And then I rewatched Megan again, this time with my girlfriend. Still hyped for Maxine, but really wishing they'd just get on the ball with this Megan 2.0 for crying out loud. What the hell's taking so long? No, I know. Don't rush it. Make it good. Alright. So I got a few news and rumors and things like that to kind of get through. So let's start with, as usually is the case, Bloody Disgusting brings us new Diablo 4 expansion. Vessel of Hatred arrives October 8th. And there is a trailer, which I'm not going to watch. It is the first expansion for the game, brings a new campaign, a new character, a new region, new class skills, and more. Set immediately following the events of Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred continues the story as you fight to save something from somebody, tightening grip on her soul, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so I don't want to spoil it too much, but there you go. A new expansion coming out for Diablo 4. I don't have Diablo 4 yet. I don't even know if it's on PS4 or not. I haven't looked. I would have to get it on PS4 because my laptop is rubbish. Diablo 4 PS4. I'm just going to check real quick to see if it's even on. It says available on PS4, PS5. PS Plus required for online play. Online play required. Oh, Jesus. Supports up to 4 online players with PS Plus. Well, fuck that then. I'm not gonna... no. Never mind. I don't think I'll be playing Diablo 4. Not if you have to have PlayStation Plus to play it. Can't afford that. Alright. This is also coming from Bloody Disgusting. It says Saw 11? Jesus. Will be an, quote, angry film with, quote, something new to say. Let's see who these quotes are attributed to. Saw 11 is coming out Halloween 2025, obviously. September 26, 2025. Saw X director Kevin Greutert returning to direct the film. Marcus Dunstan is co-writing the script, and Dunstan teases a new chat with Screen Rant this week that the, quote, angry new movie has something new to say. Dunstan tells the outlet, we're writing 11 right now, and Kevin Greutert is returning to direct. He continues, that's one where it's got something new to say, and it's angry, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they just keep recycling the quote. Okay. Alright, whatever. I don't know what any of that means, but I kind of feel like they're all angry movies, so whatever. What more could they new have to say? I don't fucking know. I don't watch the Saw movies anymore. I stopped at like 3 or 4, I don't remember. Here we go. This one's coming from Bloody Disgusting. This one I find interesting. The Soul of Wes Craven. A new book dives deeper into Craven's life and career than ever before. From Harker Press, The Soul of Wes Craven, a new book, is now available. With his latest book, author Joseph Madre presents a revealing look at the life, career, and soul of filmmaking auteur Wes Craven. I don't know if I'd call him an auteur. That's a bit of a stretch for a horror dude. I mean, he made a rape revenge film. Let's be real. And his most successful franchise is about a child molester. So auteur is a bit of a strong... I love Wes Craven, don't get me wrong, but come on, let's call him what he is. He's a schlock director, not an auteur. Anyways, no disrespect to Wes, it's just, come on. He doesn't make elevated horror, he makes schlock, he makes B-movies. Good, the best B-movies ever made, probably. But let's be real, let's call it what it is, come on. Let's not be embarrassed by horror. Alright, now available in paperback, hardback, and Kindle ebook formats. Okay, it says, featuring new interviews with the friends, family, and colleagues who knew him best, The Soul of Wes Craven offers fans insight into this is their word, master of horror like never before. Alright, well, apparently the book's out now. So go check it out if you want to learn more about Wes Craven. This one is from Bloody Disgusting. It says, Heart Eyes, Mason Gooding starring in Valentine's Day slasher movie. The filmmakers behind Freaky, Happy Death Day, and Werewolves Within are joining forces for the genre-bending slasher rom-com Heart Eyes. Josh Rubin will be directing the Valentine's Day-themed horror movie with Mason Gooding and Olivia Holt starring. The upcoming slasher movie from Spyglass features a screenplay written by Philip Murphy, Christopher Landon, and Michael Kennedy. In Heart Eyes, when the Heart Eyes killer strikes Seattle, a pair of co-workers pulling overtime on Valentine's Day are mistaken for a couple by the elusive couple-hunting killer. Now they must spend the most romantic night of the year running for their lives. Josh Rubin said in a statement, blah, 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 my love of horror is rivaled only by my love of romantic comedies. That's fair. I'm excited as hell to mount my most challenging genre bender to date, a brutal slasher and nostalgic rom-com universe. This could be fun. We'll see. Alright, this could be fun. No further details at this point. But, you know, something to keep an eye out on. An eye for. This one is also coming from Bloody Disgusting. I'm just going to pass over. I'm going to read the headline and move on, because I don't care about this. Practical Magic 2 is getting a fucking 30-year-old sequel. Jesus Christ, I'm sick of this. Stop making sequels to movies that are 30 years old, goddammit. 40 years old. Alright, moving on. Godzilla x Kong just became the highest-grossing MonsterVerse movie of all time. This is according to, again, Bloody Disgusting. They say Legendary's MonsterVerse is showing no signs of slowing down. Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, the fifth installment in the franchise universe that began with Godzilla 10 years ago, was a massive hit, blah, blah, blah. Now it's officially the MonsterVerse's highest grossing movie of all time. It hit $570 million at the box office over the weekend, $200 million of which was made in the U.S. Godzilla made $524.9 million. Kong Skull Island, $568.6. Godzilla King of Monsters, $387.3, the only one I saw in theaters. Godzilla vs. Kong, $470.1 million. And Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, $570 million. So is that Godzilla -1 not a part of this franchise? I don't understand what's going on with Godzilla. Too much shit happening all at once. Alright. This one is also coming from Bloody Disgusting. Terrifier star David Howard Thornton will be playing the killer Steamboat Willie in the new Screamboat movie. The short film that introduced Mickey... Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we know this. Okay. From the production teams behind Terrifier 2 and The Mean One, Screamboat is coming to theaters in 2025 via Iconic Events releasing, and Variety reports that Terrifier, Terrifier 2, and Terrifier 3 star David Howard Thornton, who plays Art the Clown, will be playing the film's twisted version of Steamboat Willie. He says, "I'm beyond excited to join this incredible cast and bring Steamboat Willie to life with a horror twist. Screamboat is going to be a horrific and hilarious big screen thrill ride that fans won't want to miss. We'll see. Blah, blah, blah. Alright. It will feature a mix of practical creature effects, miniatures, and cutting-edge virtual production to showcase its very mischievous monster slashing his way through a fairy of fear." Okay, cool. This guy is quickly becoming a horror icon in his own right. Eventually, I'm going to have to learn how to say his mile-long name. This one is coming from Dread Central. It is Somnium exclusive trailer. Sweet dreams are made of this. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know what that means. Okay, it says, "Get ready to tear through the fabric of reality with Somnium, the new film from writer and director Rachel Kane, starring Chloe Levine. Kane's feature film debut delves into the world of dreams and what it means to make those dreams come true." Here's the official teaser trailer. Let's go ahead and watch it and see what it looks like. I'll turn it down a little bit so we don't get copyright strike, obviously. Lying in bed. Man and woman. Nothing special so far. Flashy lights. Okay. She lives in a big city, apparently. Creepy hotel or hospital, perhaps.
It's an entire system right there. No one comes back this way. Dr. Shaver, she knows what she's doing, right? You make dreams come true. Oh, I'm falling apart on me right now. I don't even know what a normal life is like outside of this anymore. It's kind of terrifying. Hey, you can just do that. I'm doing anything. There's something in there. Where? In the room. You should get some sleep.
Okay, alright, not much of a trailer. I have no takeaway. That movie looks like it could be interesting. It could be boring as fuck. Alright, this one is from JoeBlow.com. This is their recap of everything we know about 28 years later. So, this is an article you can scroll through. I'm just going to skim through to see if there's anything new. The film is set for a June 20th, 2025 release date. Began shooting in late May. Blah, 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 around England. Alex Garland is expected to write all 3 films in the new trilogy. Danny Boyle will only be directing the first one. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, not a whole lot. Alright. This one comes also from JoeBlow.com. Blumhouse Games announces their first 6 video games. Blumhouse Productions has been one of the blah, blah, blah. They teamed up with independent designers from across the globe to make this lineup happen. The games are Fear the Spotlight, Sleep Awake, Crystal Theater of Idols, Grave Seasons, The Simulation, and Project C. Okay. Developer Eyes Out and game designers Corey Davis and Robin Fink are behind Sleep Awake, a first-person psychedelic horror game that's set in the distant future and follows Katja as she deals with dangerous otherworldly forces. Vermilla Studios is crafting Crystal Theater of Idols, a first-person horror adventure set in a terrifying version of Spain where statues of saints spring to life. That sounds creepy. Perfect Garbage is the developer of Grave Seasons, a pixelated farming and town simulation game set in Ashen Ridge where one of the residents is a supernatural serial killer. Okay. Developer Play Me Studio teamed with Blumhouse Games for this simulation, which is about a retired game designer whose only evidence for a crime is a never-before-seen horror game. Project C is the only one that has the least amount of information. It is a compact. The concept is, quote, twisted and heartbreaking. Developer Half Mermaid Productions is working with designers Sam Barlow and Brandon Cronenberg on the game. Okay. I don't know. Let's see. Here's a trailer, I guess. Alright, let's see what their video games are going to look like, or what we find out.
Dark times await us.
Okay, this Idols game looks creepy. I don't think so. Okay, hurry up, move on. That looks fucking scary. I don't think so. That's a game I won't be fucking playing. This one looks stupid. Grave Seasons, I don't think so. I'll pass.
I cannot sleep. I must not sleep.
Sleep Awake.
I am terrified to sleep.
I don't know.
I am scared to death to stay awake.
This one kind of reminds me of Eternal Darkness on the GameCube a little bit. This one could be interesting.
I'll protect you.
Fear the Spotlight.
Amy, I'll save you.
This looks like...
Just go home.
This looks like Five Nights at Freddy's. I think I'll pass.
The local police department asked me to help with a case. Why would they need a game designer?
Simulation.
It should have some developer mode.
This looks like a Dreamcast game. I think I'll pass. God damn, people. Project C. The future was meant to be broken is all it says. And then we just got some random clips from the other games. Alright, that's enough. I don't need to watch anymore. Alright, and A24 reveals new trailer for Maxine. This is coming from HorrorNewsNetwork.net. Let's go ahead and watch the new trailer. Alright, Maxine, blow me away. I'm already hyped for this movie, but let's see if this squashes the hype or fans the flames.
A film that possessed a nation. The Puritan too.
Cut! The blood's wrong. Molly Bennett, meet Maxine Minx.
Pleased to meet you.
Sorry. We've all got blood on our hands now.
The past ain't finished with you, Maxine. Ain't nowhere to hide. There's show business. You never work in this town again. Maxine, what are you hiding?
I see the devil stalking me. I can feel his power.
Are they actually adding supernatural elements? I don't think so. I hope not.
You've made it to the belly of the beast. You must eliminate all distractions, or the beast will spit you right back out.
Drop it! Time to pay for your sins.
It's America's new scream queen.
Maxine fucking Minx.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Well, we know Mia X can cry. We've seen Pearl. Alright, that didn't really get me excited, honestly. It made me forget what this movie was supposed to be, and now I'm just like, I don't know, I guess. I mean, I have faith in it, but that didn't get me hyped up extra for it. So, I probably would have been better off not seeing that trailer. Alright, so, hold on, I gotta check my DoorDash. I got some groceries coming. Gotta keep an eye out on that. So what do we got for topics? Our first topic of the episode for this week is, should you kill pets and animals in horror movies? So, recently I discovered a website. Well, my girlfriend discovered it, and she told me about it. It's called doesthedogdie.com. Check it out if you're interested in learning about trigger warnings in horror films, or any movie in general, to tell you the truth. We got to going through a whole bunch of movies, and apparently The genesis of this website was a film fan, I guess, who is triggered by movies where pets or animals die. I'm going to turn this light off. And so they created a website where they have a database that goes through all the popular known trigger warnings that might upset people who are sensitive to things. And it just sort of says, is this trigger in the movie? Yes. What's the scene? What's the timestamp? Etc. Pretty good website. Very useful if you're easily triggered by things. Now, I'm one of those of the mindset that if you're easily triggered by, you know, a cat dying or a dog dying in a movie, you probably shouldn't be watching horror movies in the first place. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not really one to judge. I guess maybe that you can handle seeing, you know, teenagers die. I guess, I don't know. Everybody's got their own things. But the question is, should you kill pets and animals in horror movies? Now, we're talking specifically horror movies. Obviously, something like, you know... Oh, there's my delivery driver, so give me 1 second. I do apologize for the little delay. I had to answer the door because my DoorDasher was here with my breakfast. My foot is in tremendous pain. I have a broken foot, a permanently broken foot, which is why I walk with a cane. Part of one of my disabilities. But anyways, so I have to order groceries for delivery because I don't want to leave the house. Don't have a vehicle at the moment. So I got me some breakfast. Cereal. I'm not going to show the box because, you know, this isn't a sponsored video. Anyways, should you kill the pet? Now, I was trying to say, if it's like a heartfelt family drama, you know, like Old Yeller, yeah, the dog has to die. Otherwise, you don't have any drama. And if it's a, you know, monster movie like Cujo, or even though it's technically a dog, it's still a monster movie. The dog is the monster. Yeah, the dog needs to die. But what about Michael Myers? Halloween. Where the dog dies off screen, but it's alluded to that he ate the dog? Or the ambiguous, did Jason kill Muffin? I think it was Muffin. In Friday the 13th Part 2, yes or no? That's debatable. And also, did Jason throw the dog out the window in Friday the 13th Part 4? Did the dog commit suicide? We don't know. That one's debatable. Now, when you look at something like Pet Sematary, yeah, animals are going to die. That is, it's in the title. You know, it's a pet cemetery. There are going to be dead animals in the movie. You can expect that. Now, I don't want to spoil Megan if you haven't seen it, but yes, I will say spoilers. The dog does die. I'm not going to get into the details of how or why. But it is handled off screen. But I have to specify in the theatrical cut. I haven't seen the director's cut, so I don't know in that version. So, you know, tread lightly, I guess. But I have noticed, in general, even when horror films do kill animals, or any film in general, and I say in general, there are exceptions we'll talk about. The animal, especially in regards to pets, dogs, cats, etc., are usually killed off-screen. And at most, you see like a reference, like the animal's body, or its corpse or something. Needful Things is one where you kind of see a little too much for some people. So I'm seeing a, you know, half-dead, half-living dog corpse that has been skinned alive but is still technically breathing. Disturbs you. Don't watch Needful Things. To me, I'm one of those, kill the fucking dog. I hate dogs. I hate them. If the filmmaker wants to kill the dog, good. Do it. You know, if I'm going to sit and root for teenagers to die who are literal humans with souls, I have no problem watching an animal die. I don't know. Is it going to break some people's hearts? Yes, especially if they kill a cat. But if we're okay with watching humans get murdered in horror films, we should be okay with watching animals get murdered in horror films. Especially those of us who watch horror films who are also meat eaters. I know dogs and cats are not meat that we eat, but they are animals. You know, and I know I'm a pagan. I don't talk about it much, and I'm going to be very careful. I do kind of believe everything has a soul, and every soul gets recycled, or the energies go somewhere when we die. I'm not going to get into the particulars, but yeah. But again, they're just movies. Now, I said there were exceptions, and there are. Cannibal Ferox is an exception. What is that? Well, I've already talked about it. I've done the review on this very channel. Go watch my review if you want. However, trigger warning and spoiler warning, they do kill animals in that movie, and the filmmakers are really killing real animals on film in that movie. It does not have the disclaimer, real animals were not harmed, blah, blah, blah. Now, the movie was not made in America, but, you know, that's another story. It was also made in, like, 1979, 80, 81, somewhere in that ballpark. And they do kill on screen, you see it happen, a real life snake in the original Friday the 13th. Now, is it ethical to kill real animals to make a horror movie? No, we're not killing real people to make horror movies. I mean, I hope to God we don't. You know, this isn't The Running Man. Sorry, I gotta eat. I'm starving. Supper was a long time ago. Yesterday. This is my breakfast. I've been up for an hour and a half. Nothing to eat. Anyway, I think it's okay to kill animals in horror films as long as you're not killing real animals. Me personally, I hate dogs. Kill the goddamn dog every fucking time. Kill the motherfucker. I also hate horses. You wanna slaughter horses in your movie? Thumbs up from me. You kill a cat? Hey, now watch it. Watch it. That's just me personally. You might have a different sensibility in regards to this. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Am I a monster? Maybe. I mean, I'm a chaos switch. What do you expect? Alright. Next topic. Oh, this one I've been dreading, but I've also been anticipating for a long time. How important are special effects to horror movies? Now, I don't just mean, are good special effects important to horror movies? Because there are some great horror movies, well, fun, I should say, B movies, that have really obviously bad special effects. They're still good, fun movies. And there are a lot of horror movies that are pretty light on the special effects, like The Conjuring, for an example. Although, I guess there are some special visual effects in The Conjuring. I'm not sure if I have any other examples of movies that are light on special effects that are horror movies. I guess Silence of the Lambs doesn't really have much in the way of special effects. Neither does, I guess, Seven. Although, I mean, they've got bodies and stuff. Does that count? I guess that counts. I'm not sure about Zodiac, but I still haven't decided if Zodiac is a horror movie or not. I should watch it again, but it's almost a 3-hour movie, so I don't know if I've got the mental fortitude to watch it again. Now, we're not getting into the practical versus CGI bullshit debate. We're not having that discussion today. The discussion is, are special effects important to horror films, or how important are they? Now, I would argue that visual effects of some sort are absolutely essential to horror films. Absolutely essential. In most cases, you know, if you're going to tell a horror movie about vampires, your vampires better, you know, look like vampires. Your werewolves need to look like werewolves. Your zombies need to look like zombies. You know, your decapitations need to look like human heads, etc., etc. You know, can it be over the top? Yeah, I'm good with that. It doesn't have to be realistic. It doesn't have to be believable. It just has to be, you know, acceptable, I guess, is the term I'm looking for. You know. People love to praise movies like The Thing and David Cronenberg's The Fly. And they like to be all, yeah, those are great examples of practical effects, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, we're not really digging into practical versus CGI, but we're going to just say, yeah, The Thing as the 1982 Thing from John Carpenter would not work as a movie without the visual effects. It wouldn't. I would argue the same thing about The Fly, 1986, Jeff Goldblum. It would also not work without the visual effects. So in most cases, the visual effects just need to be there. They don't necessarily have to be realistic or believable. They just have to be presented in a way that makes us go, okay, that's fine for this movie. You know, like Evil Dead. The visual effects in Evil Dead are garbage. They are. Look, they are. They look like shit. And if you don't think they look like shit, you're biased or you're blinded by nostalgia. They look like shit. But who cares if they look like shit? Because it's 1981 or 82 or whatever. It's like, fine, it looks like shit, but it's still cool. You know? Let's just not say they look good when they fucking don't. Especially the goddamn awful stop-motion animation in both of those movies, Evil Dead 2. Now, the stop-motion in Army of Darkness, yeah, it looks pretty good. But that was a big-budget movie, you know. But the stop-motion doesn't have to look good in Evil Dead for it to be effective, and that's what I'm trying to get at. You know, the stop-motion in Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, looks like ass. It literally looks like ass. But it works in that sequence, even though it's garbage. It's a dream sequence. You know, going back to Evil Dead, you know, he's being possessed and or attacked by an evil spiritual force. We can accept that the evil spiritual force, which has shown hallucinogenic properties, could have him being hallucinating these things, so they don't have to be believable. They don't have to be realistic, because they could just be hallucinations. Exaggerations of what's really happening. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to say it doesn't look like ass, because it does. But I'm okay with it looking like ass, because it's fine for that movie. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is one of the greatest sci-fi B-movies, alien invader B-movies of the 80s. Probably of all time. They look like dollar store clowns in rubber masks. They don't have to look like scary monsters. It's fine that they look like clowns in rubber masks. I'm okay with it. The point I'm trying to make is, I don't think special effects have to look good or believable to be acceptable in a horror film. They just have to be present in order to tell the story visually that you're trying to tell. Is it better if the effects are believable or realistic? Again, I'm going to say not necessarily. Not in every instance. You know, I personally prefer Evil Dead 2013 to Evil Dead 1981. Because partially the effects do look better, but also the characters are more fleshed out, more believable. They seem like real people, whereas I don't know, they seem like a bunch of college kids who are doing their filmmaker buddy friend a favor in Evil Dead 1981. But a lot of people say, even though that the visual effects do decidedly look better in 2013, a lot of people still prefer the so-called charm of the low-budget effects of the first one. So again, looking better isn't necessarily the goal. I also like Mia more as a main character than Ash. I said it. Come at me. I don't care. Ash is a buffoon who fumbles into greatness. He's not a hero. Mia's an actual legit fighter, a survivor. Anyways, I don't know. Everyone's got different opinions. Alright. Here's a topic I haven't been sure if I wanted to tackle or not, because I kind of don't have a ton of examples for it. But I want to present it and put it out there in case somebody can come up with additional examples than the ones I'll present, or if, I don't know, I may have already actually talked about this topic now that I think about it. I should probably watch my old episodes. Yeah, now that I think about it, I do remember this, because the films I'm thinking of, I remember talking about. I was going to ask, is action horror a thing? And then I just remembered, yeah, I think I did this like last week or the week before, actually. So I'm going to scrap that topic. And instead, we're going to talk about the 8-bit LJN horror games on the Nintendo Entertainment System. It's been a while since I've done a reminiscing retrospective type thing, looking at an old 8-bit era, 16-bit era video game, horror video game. So I figured that was a good time. Now, LJN did a lot of licensed games. They weren't all horror movies. But they did 3 that I know of that were horror movies that we're going to talk about. They did a video game to the movie Jaws. They did a video game to the franchise Friday the 13th, and to the franchise A Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's talk about Jaws first. Well, I mean, it's an 8-bit video game. You're on a boat, you're hunting a shark, and you're trying not to get eaten by the shark. Pretty simple, but once you take out all the politics and the family drama, that's all Jaws is. 3 guys on a boat hunting a shark, trying not to get eaten by the shark, to varying degrees of success and or failure. I'd say it's a pretty accurate 8-bit game representing what the essence of the movie was. I mean, did you really need a cutscene with Chief Brody and the mayor arguing over close the beaches or not? I mean, for fuck's sake, it's an 8-bit video game, people. God damn. People have stupid, unrealistic expectations for 8-bit video games. Alright. A Nightmare on Elm Street. This is a side-scrolling 2D platformer-esque beat-em-up type game. It's got platforming levels, it's got beat-em-up gameplay. But it's also got power-ups, which is a common trope in the platformer genre. And it's got a pretty cool background music. Some pretty cool background music. Pretty good graphics for the 8-bit NES. and does a really good job capturing the essence of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, which is basically, if you fall asleep, you're going to face Freddy, you're going to die. That's what happens in the game. That's what happens in the movie. You know what I mean? And the whole plot of collecting his bones to throw them in the furnace isn't that far-fetched, considering part of the plot in Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors, which is regarded by many as the best one, is them trying to bury his bones in hollowed ground. Not the same thing as burning them in the furnace, but they do go to the junkyard in the movie and the video game. So I think it's a pretty good game. I have a lot of fun playing that 8-bit game. And I know I've talked about this before. I think I did a whole topic on this before, actually. I hope I'm not retreading ground I've already done. That would be boring, Joe. And then you have the Friday the 13th game. Which, again, you're playing as a camp counselor who's wandering around camp, discovering dead bodies, trying not to become one, and then you become one, and game over, Jason wins. That is literally the plot of all 12 Friday the 13th movies. That is the exact plot. What do you expect from these games? I don't know. I got nothing else to say. I gotta eat. Catch you later. Stay cool.